Do you like the great outdoors? Are you or are you looking to be a master bow hunter, king of the hill in archery? You're in the right place. Welcome to BowHunterPlanet. It's the BowHunterPlanet podcast with your host, Team BHP.
Hello and welcome to the BowHunterPlanet podcast. It's me, Dave Thomas, on Jamie Noteboom, and on today's show, we got the guys from Catchin Deers.
How are you, fellas?
Bud,
Good.
Reed, and Ryan. So, what's going on, guys?
Well, my ears are ringing. That's the starter. We had about an 8-hour drive down, and we got stuck at the border. And we had a couple goose and some duck calls, and so we were just ripping them, and now I can barely hear anything.
We're just getting ready for the fall.
Oh, yeah, just getting right fired up.
We're keen. Duck on the brain, eh?
Yeah.
Duck on the brain.
Yeah, not surprised. So, how are things going with the business so far? It's been very popular from what I've seen. I mean, it's pretty much everywhere, but I think the funny part to me is that the funny videos, I think, really carry it, and it is very smart of you guys to do that and come out with those videos and keep producing the videos. I know you and I talked a little bit offline about some of the, I think you guys were doing like a weekly thing or something to sit down. That was pretty funny. And so tell us about that. Like, how's that going? Is it, the video production, you guys constantly working on that? Or?
Yeah, you know what? The brand, to kind of rewind, the brand really started at the hunt camp out of us just kind of having a lot of fun. And we came up with, we should do a video, we should do this, we should have that. And then we just got right into it, having a lot of fun. And then we just sold right out of hats and then ordered more and, sold right out of those too. And we're like, all right, like, let's go. And so we realized that, the content is, where the brand's at. We have a whole bunch of fun with it. And our vision as a company is, like, it's nice to sell hats and shirts, and we're getting into a lot more stuff, a lot more, lifestyle apparel. But our vision isn't about selling, shirts and hats. Our vision is to bring people together. And we can do that through videos. If you share your favorite moment at the hunt camp, or if you have something completely relatable, it could be a meme, we've had some just classic memes that Hawk's the meme machine, and so when we have those memes come out, we see everybody sharing them back and forth, and that's bringing people together, and that's what we think that the hunt camp and hunting's all about. It's a catalyst, so we have a whole bunch of fun with that. But it's been going awesome. We're having a good time.
Yeah, that's exciting, man. I think it's funny, like, when you see the video, at first you're like, what's going on right now? This guy's like walking around, there's explosions and people like ramming deer with a costume on. And then it like dawned on me, like, this is genius. This is like hilarious. And now I'm like kind of caught into it, I'm like, I got to watch the rest of this. Well done, by the way. But I mean, those are the kinds of things I think that do separate companies. Like, especially when I think one of the things I love about the outdoor industry is that we all have fun with what we do.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which company, most of them. I mean, some are, don't get me wrong, but I think most of the smaller companies just like to have a lot of fun. And it really shows in some of these things in the videos and the,
Yeah, we're a bit of a yes brand. So, Hawk or Reed will say, we need a guy in the background taking a leak with his pants around his ankles. And we're like, all right, let's do it. Let's do it. So, that's a whole bunch of fun. But I find we've done some things in the past, and I've done some things in the past, and it's joking around, laughing, have a good time, and then okay, it's go time. And you kind of change. Yeah. You're like, we just wanted to do something where we're just not changing at all, where we're just kind of capturing those moments.
Bud's the one that has to change. We're behind the cameras.
Yeah.
Oh, it's seriously hilarious. So the concept, the name itself, Catchin Deers, where did that come from?
Yeah, so that came from Kentucky 2015. A good friend of ours shows up to the hunt camp, and he cruises in with a 2-4 of Bud Heavies, and he walks in and goes, "Well, fellas, did you catch any deers?" And we're like, "What?" So that just
he didn't just say that.
Oh yeah, cruised right in, pluralized deer, and asked us if we caught anything, and we're just like, oh man. So he's stuck in the hunt camp for like 3-4 days with us, and so we just didn't let it go ever. And then we go see our good buddy Dave Thomas at Wendy's, and we're in the drive-thru, and the lady's like, camo, nice. You guys catching anything? And we're like, oh, it just doesn't stop.
It's
you
just
know?
an issue.
It's a real life issue.
Yeah.
You know, for
Struggle.
hunters.
I get it all the time. Or did you catch it? What? No, what am I catching?
Yeah.
No,
Anybody doesn't
forgot my
understand
rod in
that.
the boat. Forgot my rod in the boat. So yeah, no, that's where it came from. And then I just decided to be funny to show up the next year with a black and white foam trucker with Catchin Deers on it. And it's like bring back what was like the joke of the weekend, and kind of shove it in Austin's face and laugh at him, stuff like that. And we had fun with it. And so I went into one of the girls' office. I'm like, I need you to find me a black and white foam trucker hat and just write Catchin Deers on it, like screen printed, whatever. And so she did up a mock. She's like this? I'm like, yeah, I guess so. I don't care. Like that looks awesome. And so I took them in, and then the guys, just became again like the kind of hashtag of the weekend, right? Like just so much fun. And we were hooting and hollering and laughing about it the whole weekend. And then we just wanted to wear these hats because we stinking like the hats, And people were coming up at airports. People were coming up at, banana pudding festivals. That's a real thing in Tennessee. And Austin had like 6 people come up and be like, where do I get that hat? And he's like, well, I mean, there's only 6 of them in the world, but maybe we'll make more. And so we did. Yeah, and now we're doing podcasts. So, yeah.
Flash forward.
Yeah.
Flash forward. Yeah.
And that's funny though. It's funny to me how many people actually say catching deers. Like you catch a deer, and it's funny because like we talk like amongst my friends, like you kill that mofo. Did you smoke it? It's always a smoke word. Like you smoke that thing.
Oh yeah.
Did you kill that beast? It's so funny. Complete
Put a rage
opposite.
in the cage, dusted them.
Rage in the cage.
Yeah.
Too funny. So the name came about.
Yep.
You guys started the production of it to have fun and get back at your friend, which is hilarious. And then from there, it dwarfed into the video section of it. Like, how do we get this out? Or?
Yeah, so we're like, okay, well, we'll make a couple hundred hats, and there's going to be people out there that have been asked, and they'll buy it for their friend as a joke, that asked them. And, if we think that it's funny and there's like, 8 of us at camp or whatever, then other people are going to think it's funny. So we said, well, we got to do a video. We made up a website and stuff like that, and we said we'll just test it out and see if people like it. If they don't, we got 6 sweet hats. Well, now we got a couple hundred sweet hats. Just change one
buddies.
for every day of the week. And so I called Reed and Ryan and said, we got to do this video. I've got an idea for where we want to go with the script, and we sat down and collaborated. And over 2 days, we filmed that first video. And I remember asking, I was like, Reader, how many views are we going to get, buddy? How many views? He's like, oh, I don't know. Like, it's impossible to tell. You can't make a viral video. You can just make a video that may or may not go viral.
I'd still have fun with it. So
Oh.
I don't even know what my estimate was. It was in the neighborhood of 40,000 maybe.
Yeah.
And that's high. Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh, it was like
I want 1 million.
Well, it was like 2 hours. I mean, it was like 2 hours in.
Yeah.
And Bud's like, the video's at 20,000.
yeah. Ryan and I were out at
we're
out of
like,
cell service.
what?
We were getting, I don't know what we were doing, filming we had a photo shoot, and we came back to the truck, and it was, oh my God, Bud's tried to get a hold of me 35 times, and always called you 97, so we should probably touch base. And then we came back into cell service, and we're at like 30,000 views, and we're only an hour and a half in. So, and then from there it just skyrocketed.
Yeah. So
the trajectory.
So what
I mean, it just
Is this,
went.
this is the first one, right?
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
the
the
first
first
one.
one. This is the first one. So
What
this
did
is
that-
November 1st,
what did that end up with
2016.
Right now.
It's at like 3.9 million
It's
on
like shy of
Facebook.
4.
It's got like 50 or 60,000 on YouTube. We've never pushed YouTube. That's just kind of like Google search stuff.
YouTube's
on,
like that.
On Instagram,
They're hard to get in front of the people.
Yeah.
Over the years, if I post them on Facebook, we'll do really well real quick. But Facebook, I think, has everybody. That's the difference.
Right.
And YouTube, it's like they email you like, oh, so-and-so,
It's a
but they're
common
not subscribed.
platform.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah. You got to build a
You gotta be
subscription
searching,
base.
right? That's the thing.
So what happened is I said, you know what? I at the end of the day, meaning like the end of the video, the end of our careers, I want like 100,000 on this thing. Like I want 100,000. That's what I want. And I'm like, on Facebook, you can go in and you can pay money to have people view this, right? You can go in and like bid. And so I set it up. I was like, I'm going to spend a little bit of money and just get it out to a few people, and then see if it goes viral from there. Because otherwise, nobody's ever going to see it. My friends are going to see it, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I went in and I set that all up, and Facebook rejected it because I say bomb at the end. I was like, these hats are the bomb, you know?
Yeah.
And Facebook rejected it. And by noon, we had 50,000. I was like, I don't need you, Facebook.
Lucky they didn't pull it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They got the power.
Anyway,
Let's,
yeah. So it just, I posted it, you know, I tagged a couple buddies in it, posted it on my Facebook wall, and was kind of like, well, lads, let's see how she goes. And by 24 hours, we were at, I don't know, 300,000. We hit 1 million in 6 days or something.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it just went fast.
That's incredible.
It was fun, though.
Yeah, and I think it was because, you know, everybody that has asked that question or has been asked that question and laughed about it sent it to that person.
Yeah.
And
They
so
finally had
one of the,
something.
to have, you know, 3.9, you know, 4 million views on that video is cool, but it's been shared 55,000 times.
Wow.
Like that's crazy. So yeah, that started it
That's
all.
intense.
And then after that, we're like, well, what do we do now?
Yeah.
So,
did you
yeah.
see the sales skyrocket from that or no?
Yeah, we were perpetually sold out until like Christmas. So we were 2 months of we couldn't get product fast enough to get it back out. So that was fun, and people were saying we need T-shirts, we want hoodies, we want all that. So we made a couple, some T-shirts that we could get out before Christmas for kind of Christmas rush, and then we took the spring to kind of evaluate what we wanted to do this fall. And this fall is a lot more into the lifestyle apparel stuff where, you know, you've got stuff that, you know, nobody else has. We came up with, you know, the prints and everything else. We've selected fabrics top to bottom, constructing, you know, all of our own apparel, which has been a really fun process, and doing things that, you know, nobody else has in their apparel. So
That's cool.
You know, I wear jeans a lot, but I'll be, you know, practicing with my bow and jeans and have nowhere to put my arrows because I don't shoot with a quiver. And so I said, I want a side pocket down the side of my sweatpants that we're making, and I want it to hold arrows for when I'm target shooting. You know, stuff like that's cool. So, you know, a secret like arrow pocket, you know, in the back that you slide your arrows down and you pull them out and let them fly. So stuff like that. Yeah, having a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's pretty
Good
sweet,
ideas,
man.
Yeah.
So are you guys planning to go, like, I mean, are you going to stick with the one concept, or are you going to work on some new concepts too? Like, so you got Catchin Deers, but maybe like catching bass, or, you know what I mean? Is there another shape it might go forward with? Or?
Yeah, so we're going multi-species. I mean, our focus, we're deer hunters through and through. We like, you know, we were talking about duck hunting earlier, and, you know, and maybe catching turkeys and stuff like that. But so we've got, you know, original foam trucker and like a camo hat and turkeys and ducks. And we get emails almost daily that, you know, I need a fishing hat, come up with something for fishing, or, you know, I'm a bear hunter. I got this one, you know, yesterday. I'm a bear hunter. When are you going to do catching bears? And so for us, it's about doing it in a time frame that we can really focus on that market and really kind of dive in properly. What we don't want to do is launch a foam trucker hat and, you know, not embrace or support or, you know, engage those consumers in that market. You know, we want to have those active conversations in that market and have fun with those people. So, you know, we'll do that over time. We'll go into the different, you know, the majors: elk, moose, bear, you know, things like that.
I think if you do it, I agree. You have to commit to it, because if you just do it and say, "Oh, we're just doing this hat," I think you won't see the sales like you want to see it. You know.
Yeah.
So I think in order to commit to it, you have to do what you're doing with this one, but come up with other stuff that, you know, is viral.
For us, for us, it's about it's about
one time you could do it. You do it multiple times, you're on fire, but it's hard to do. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, you know, it's for us, it's about engaging the people and having fun and building, you know, relationships and conversations. And that's what we see hunting is about for us, right? Is about the relationship. It's a conduit to that, you know, that relationship between people. And so hopefully the foam trucker hat will have a couple laughs and stuff like that. And, you know, like us, if you're at the airport, someone comes over, they're like, "I'm a deer hunter, I love the hat," like, and you have a conversation. That's really cool.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
So yeah,
I think one of the things for me is like you create this concept of unity in a weird way, right? It's just like, it's a joke, but it doesn't have to be a joke. Like you're saying, you know, you're getting these people in, you're chatting with them, hey, you know, this is what's going on.
We actually bumped into a Michigan deer hunter in Times Square. Remember that? Like the second,
we did too. Yeah.
In the New York video, the second guy we asked, the first guy was completely clueless, but
yeah. Well, we asked him. We said, "Did you catch anything?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're very tasty."
Yeah.
And we're like, "Oh, you hunt? You hunt?" And he's like,
"You shoot them."
He's like, "Well, I don't catch them."
I think
We're
he
like,
had a
we're
camel
like,
hat
we
on.
know, brother. Yeah, right.
We're just messing.
So then, yeah, like Bud's right. It's a conduit, certainly, to conversations.
that's
with,
so funny.
It engages people.
I don't
and creates
catch 'em.
that story.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be a good video if you did, though.
Oh yeah.
Catch one? That would be a viral video. Catching a deer. Like, come here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we'll see what we can do this fall.
I would love to see them even go to an enclosure to try to catch a
Oh,
deer. Just kick you in the face. A little pain, no game. Come on.
Yeah. There you go.
Just
wrangle them.
Just tranquil.
You got a dart in your neck.
Yeah, tranquilize them.
We had. I don't know if you've seen that video, but we did Catchin Deers does New York, and we went.
saw part of that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
We were asking people in New York about, how would you catch a deer? If you're a deer catching and stuff, just to get their responses and kind of set them up a little bit just to see where they go. And this one guy was like, "How would you do it?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know, tranquilize them." Yeah, he was just fired right up. He's like, "Oh, I'd definitely tranquilize them." And he's like, "What does deer hunting mean to you?" He's like, "Well, it's my birthday, so it means drinking."
Well, one guy said he went deer catching, but it was docile.
Oh yeah,
very
oh,
docile.
yeah. He's like, "Oh yeah, I caught one with my grandpa. We were hunting. There was like 8 bucks out in the field, and I caught one of them." I'm like, "Oh, how'd you do that?" He's like, "Well, it was docile." Like, what does that even mean? Oh yeah, we got him caught right in the lie. Yeah,
Caught in the burn.
caught in the burn.
Mega.
So, how's the new video doing so far? With the
Well, yeah, we for those that don't know, listeners, we launched a video yesterday that's called "The Most Famous Hunting Story Ever Told," and it's been great. It's been a lot of fun, and because it's a name drop,
Yeah.
right? So we just name drop. That's why it's the most famous hunting stories. We drop a whole bunch of names, and so those people that we name drop thought it was funny. I've been sharing it, so it's gone. I don't know what it's at right now, but in the first 24 hours, as of like noon today, it was at like 150 or 160,000 views.
Hey guys, Dave Thomas here at BowHunterPlanet Studios in Detroit, Michigan. We have a lot of great stuff going on, and our podcast right now is so exciting, and we're so happy to tell you about it. We're hoping that you guys are tuning in and listening. We have some really great guests on, some awesome stories, great tips of hunting, and especially in industry stuff, what's going on in the industry and different things that you can learn right now about different gear and what's best and what's going on. Awesome stories and a lot of tips and tactics that you can use. The BowHunterPlanet.com team is excited to bring you the new podcast. Also, check out our ambassador program. It's a great program if you want to get involved in the industry and see what it's like from the inside out. We offer that. Check out our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter. We have some of the best photography in the industry being shown on some of those platforms, as well as videos. Check out our network shows, including Southern Vein. A lot of great things coming up this year from Bowhunter Planet. We're excited that you're here and listening with us and being a part of this. We absolutely appreciate it. Growing the sport of archery is one of the most important things we can all do. We need to come together to make that happen. Not just me, not just the other people in the industry, but you as a consumer have to help us to grow this great sport of heritage that we love called archery. So hey, make sure you go to BowHunterPlanet.com, subscribe to our mailing list so you can stay and keep part of what we're doing and what's going on. And we really appreciate your support. And thank you for joining the hunt with BowHunterPlanet.com. So the funny part is, so last night I'm laying in bed and I just got this idea. I'm like, I'm gonna challenge him to see if he can do it on the show and add my name in.
All right.
To make it a twist.
So you want me to tell the story, huh?
I want you to tell the story, but I want to make sure all these cameras are rolling for this.
Are they rolling?
Recording.
Are they all on?
And Tim, you
Mic
take
check-
Tim, you
mic
can
check
take
1,
some
2.
pictures with your phone because your
Mic check
phone
1,
does a
2.
really good job.
All right.
All right, all right. Let's. This is so exciting.
Well, I'll just tell the lads around. We're in the hunt camp here, right? So it was the Herald night before the opener, and I was just Kendall Jones and to get into the Dr. Grant Woods. Something went wrong. My alarm clock was a John Dudley, so I slept right through the morning sit and woke up right Tiflakoski'd. But there's nothing you can do, so I grabbed a couple Travis T-bones and just threw it right on the Bear Grylls. Poured myself a cold Greg Miller Light, grabbed the reel tree and threw it right in the Troy Laundry, and Nate hosied off my boots, and at that point it was time to Levi Morgan. So I go and head up into my stand, and it was a little bit of a Taylor Drury day. Didn't have a whole lot of action until I had a Adam LaRoche climb up my leg and try to bite my Willie Robertson. At that point, there was a couple. Cody Robbins and a Dean Partridge rustling about in the leaves, and I was just happy that they were watching their Andy Bird songs. Well, then I have a Jake and a couple hens and a Dave Thomas out there just strutting in the middle of the field, eh? So I grab the binos and start Brittany glazing when across the field huddle I hear Chris Brackett. Well, out steps Colorado Buck, and he was a giant. Comes across the field, making his way across slowly, and steps right into my Chris Lane. Well, I give him the bop, stop him right in his Adam Treadwell, draw my Bo Jackson, and just Matt Duff him. He takes off running right into the Jackie Bushman, and I couldn't Sean Luck till how bad he was hit. So I climb down, and I find a little bit of blood, but I'm Eva shocked there wasn't Tony Vandermoor. I was worried that this was going to turn into a Bruce Horrell story. So I follow my gut and a little bit of blood there right to a Stillwater pond, and I Michael Waddell across it. It smelled a little Jeff Danker, and felt like the Tyler Jordan River. It was so big, but then again there was a Teresa Vale of fog. And so sure enough, I spook spawn him out from behind a beaver Kevin Van Dam and decide to Melissa Backman out of there. I don't know what got into me. I guess I was picturing him on the Dan Wallace, but to be Luke Fair, I thought I heard him crash. About that time, my brother Mike pulls up, and Hank Parker's the truck and gets out all Chipper Jones. I tell him to cool his jets because we're heading back to the hunt camp for a bit. We're letting her rest. So we get back to the camp, and my nerves are right on the Greg Ritz, and so I pour myself a David Blanton's on the rocks and try to relax a bit. And we consider ourselves good Brad Christians, so we resist the temptation to light up the Casey Kiefer. And kids, I don't touch the stand pots, all right, no matter how stressed out I am. So sure enough, we head back to the woods. I'm just about ready to give up on this deer, but Mike's bound and Tim Brendy's going to find it. So sure enough, he grabs me by the arm and gives me the old Babe Winkleman, and I knew it was over, so I let out a Cy Robertson a relief and busted right into my big buck down Bill dance. I was so fired up I could have Candy Kiskied him. And there was not an ounce of ground shrinkage on this buck either. Took 3 of us to get him in the back of the Colt Ford. So anyway, we pull out of there and hit the Eric Roads, and I realized that that's probably the best hunt I'd Edwin Ever's been on. That's why we call her the most famous hunting story ever told.
Oh my God. Wow.
Skill.
I have to admit, I'm pretty impressed.
That's
I was laughing so hard I'm sweating. Wow.
There's a couple Jakes, a few hens, and a Dave Thomas out there strutting.
That was very well done. I wasn't expecting it that soon. Came quick.
Second year Jake.
Oh yeah, a second year
Super
Jake.
Jake.
Oh,
Super
yeah.
Jake.
Big old Jake. A Jake with spurs, huh?
Yeah. So, 150,000?
Yeah, 150. I don't know what it's at now. We haven't checked in a few hours, but it's crawling. It's
Well,
crawling.
the good part about it, I think, by adding all those people, and they're all going to share it because it's hilarious. You know what I mean? It's hard
Yeah.
not to share something like
Yeah,
that.
we had Lee and Tiffany share it. We had Greg Ritz share it. We had Candy Kiski share it.
Whitetail Freaks.
Whitetail, yeah. So a bunch of those guys.
We got Blanton
thought
on
it was
tonight,
funny.
so I'll make sure he shares it.
Yeah, there you go.
Dave,
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, David Blanton's on the rocks. Actually, I talked to him a couple weeks ago, and I told him I was dropping his name in the story, and I said, "Have you heard of?" And I don't know whether or not David. I assume David doesn't drink very much. I said, "Have you ever heard of Blanton's Kentucky bourbon?" And he's like, "Somebody told me that's a thing." And I said, "Well, it's a bourbon, and I'm about to drop your name in reference to a drink. I hope you're okay with it." So he texted me yesterday. He thought it was pretty funny. So, yeah.
Oh, man, that's funny. So how long did it take you to memorize all that?
Well,
Did you write it all out?
That's
And
the
then you're like,
thing. Yeah. So I
36 hours. I think.
Not even. Like, it was...
Like a day.
Yeah,
24.
like a day.
That's like...
Yeah, but I wrote a first draft and sent it to these guys. I just, when you get kind of in the zone on something and you get cruising,
Yeah.
my wife is like, put your phone away at the dinner table. I'm like, hon, it's gold. I got to write it down. It's gold. And so she was sour, and she's like, all right, I get it, you know. And so I was just writing down, like I kept writing kind of right through dinner. When it was going, it was going. And so I sent it to these guys, and you know, they made a bunch of edits and they added jokes in, and it was, you know, funnier. Actually, I might have missed one of my. I missed the best joke in that whole thing.
Was that
when that big buck stepped out, I dropped a Ted Nugent in my Cam Hanes.
Oh. Yeah, that's been quoted a couple times.
I missed the best joke in the whole thing. Anyway,
a little grouse on her.
So yeah. Anyway, 24 hours or whatever, we got together and shot it, and I went through the story 3 times from start to finish, and we said we'll call it a wrap. So it was fun. It was fun. Yeah.
Were you guys dying filming it? Like just
it's
trying not
hard.
to laugh? Oh my
It's
god.
an ab workout.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're holding on a rig.
Oh, yeah, just holding the gimbal up. He's balancing on the front of another boat, and Mike and I are in a boat, and he's just trying not to laugh.
I'll tell you what, man, those gimbals are heavy. Like
Oh,
I
they
can't stand
they
ours.
can
I'm
get
like,
very
we got the
heavy.
DJI one, and I'm
It's
just
a
like,
lat workout.
I'm like, dude, like, so we moved to like some littler stuff, but that's so funny, man, trying to hold that on a boat.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you think I'm in
God.
front of the camera? I don't have the shoulders for it. Mike
a
says.
little
Mike
GoPro
says.
The funny part is your brother's back there just laughing. I
Oh,
see him
yeah.
laughing, like trying not to
Oh,
like
yeah.
look towards you. He's just laughing.
Mikey says I'm like a dirt road, no shoulders.
Clear the cab.
Keep her out of the cab.
So how do you guys all know each other?
How do we know each other? Well, here's the thing. So in the first video, I said, how does it go? I shoot a stick and string. Uncle Bob shoots a lever action, and that's my. People are like, "Who played your Uncle Bob?" And I'm like,
Uncle Bob.
Uncle Bob.
That's awesome.
Everybody's
So
got Uncle Bob.
Yeah, you
my
do for
mom
sure.
my mom's brother is Uncle Bob, and I say it, and Bob's your uncle. Like that's my go-to line. You know, something happens, I'm like, Bob's your uncle, and well, he is. So he's my mom's brother, but Bob is also Reed's uncle.
On the other side of the family.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's just like we've known each other all along, and it's just
Yeah.
been one of those things. And we're all like Bud's from Peterborough. We're from Lakefield, which is just north of Peterborough. And
Yeah, so
it's just one of those things.
they've been in the hunting industry for a while. You can tell your story.
Bud and I reconnected at ATA 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Just he was there with
With buck paint.
buck paint.
Yeah.
And so I introduced him to some buyers and some reps, and we just had dinner one night, the 3 of us. And no, Bobby was there. And,
Yeah.
and then we just stayed in touch. And then he called us one day out of the blue shortly after we left Excalibur, and he said, "I got an idea." And as soon as he told me, I was like, "Yeah."
said, "I need a couple film
I think
guys."
someone asked me that like last week.
Yeah.
And then so that's kind of
Yeah.
the short version of it.
So I called Reed and Ryan to come out and produce and film that first video, and then it's got, you know, the relationship is built a lot from then. I mean, we share hunt stories, and we were buddies at that point already. And when I thought, you know, none of us, we didn't know. I thought they were coming out to film one video. You know, and now we're on the phone every day, and we're building a brand together.
Struggling to communicate through a phone. It's easier to email because you're laughing every time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, the Samsung's up in a windowsill trying to get reception.
So
dropping
don't buy a
calls.
Samsung.
Don't worry, I don't.
Yeah, I'm probably the only one in the state of Michigan right now with a Samsung.
Oh yeah, so we have a good time. We have a good time with it, and all of the people ask us, you know, where do you get the ideas? And it's basically like what's happening right now, like banter, and then somebody just a light bulb goes off. You know what we need to do? We need to do this, and we're like, heck yeah, we do.
Yeah,
I mean, that's where we
Oh,
come up a
yeah.
lot of our ideas is we're just sitting around the campfire.
Yeah.
Hunt camp. Like, ooh, we should.
We need your podcast.
Inspired by the hunt
Yeah.
camp.
We need
Exactly.
You should have seen us.
Fest.
You should have seen us the first day. The first day we were at hunt camp in turkey season. I think it was turkey season.
Yeah, we knocked out like 8 or 9.
And he's like, we're
Turkeys
like,
or
no, no, no.
ideas?
Podcasts.
Podcast.
We're like, let's do this. Everything.
I was thinking bears.
I did get a turkey though.
Yeah. One
We got 8
turkey.
long beards, 3 hens, and 4 podcasts.
Yeah, one turkey. DNR, if you're listening, that's one turkey.
One turkey.
It was a super G.
That was the second year, Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hammered them out, man. That was a long night. We just went right
Oh
through.
yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
When you got the inspo, you got to let her roll.
you gotta roll.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how we've. I think that's what we've always done at BHP is like whatever we get into, we go full bore because the thought
What
is.
number is this for you guys?
Oh, this is 101.
1?
Well, no, there's
we
ones
got a
on here that
couple,
haven't been
yeah.
edited,
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's
I gotta
probably like
do that.
110.
Yeah.
And then tonight we have another.
awesome.
We have Shemaine Nugent tonight. That's
Yeah,
what's funny.
yes.
You said Nugent. Shemaine's on tonight. You guys watch Naked and Afraid? I love that show.
So I know
I always
the
have
show.
all the guests on. They're always like, "Yeah, I'll come on." I'm like, "Sweet."
I know the show. I can't say as I'm a
Naked
fan.
and Afraid.
We got to start getting the Alone
Like, I haven't
guys
watched
on
it.
here.
Loan's next. Yeah,
What
I got
channel
it.
was that on?
Yeah.
Discovery.
It was Discovery, yeah.
My thing is, what I like about them is they're doing like survival, and
Yeah.
I want to teach us something just in case a hunter gets lost. They can learn
Yeah.
something from this.
But if I get lost, I got my clothes on. Why do you gotta be naked?
exactly,
Ratings.
easier.
Ratings.
We,
Okay.
we,
Oh, yeah,
we still
that's what I
need like
said, too.
Creek Stewart on here. That's
I gotta
what
get
we
Creek
need.
on. Creek was doing the Fat Guys in the Woods. That was
Did you ever see
Okay.
that?
No.
It's on the
No.
Weather Channel.
It's not anymore,
Yeah.
right? They canceled that.
Yeah, they canceled it.
Kevin loved it.
It was
We
hilarious.
canceled it.
Yeah, we dropped Bear Grylls. Bear Grylls was one, and I watched probably out of any Discovery survival show. Bear Grylls is the one that I've watched the most of. He just throw himself right in quicksand
That's-
so he could get out of it.
That's funny. He's coming in 2 weeks.
Is
in
he?
here? No.
I was like, I'm not leaving your basement in 2 weeks. There's wings over there, there's bear brats, and there's
You
beer
guys
in the
can crash
fridge.
in
I'm
the
gonna wait
office.
here till Bear Grylls
Plenty
comes
of
in.
room. The best
No.
one is they did with Will Ferrell. Did you see that one?
Oh,
When
you
he
mean
started
Bear
taking
Grylls?
celebrities.
I think
Yeah.
I'm on me. I'm like, I need
I was like, when did you have Will Ferrell?
Dang.
Bear Grylls started taking celebrities out.
Oh my
So
gosh.
Will
that's
Ferrell.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
a
I
bunch.
think I
There's a
saw
bunch
that
of Twinkies in the backpack. They were supposed to save for the whole
Oh,
trip.
that's right. You ate it.
And he ate all the
crushes
Twinkies
them.
like the first hour.
He's like,
Where'd
yeah,
those
remember
Twinkies
cream
go?
on his face. Yeah, cream on his face. Dude's so funny.
Man,
That's amazing.
he is. Yeah, if I could go hunting with somebody that was a celebrity and not a hunter, he'd be on that short list for sure.
Top 3. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So,
he'd be
are you?
top 3.
Since obviously you're from a hockey family,
Yeah.
does your family play hockey too?
Yeah, I mean,
It's like a big.
we grew up playing hockey. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
So did his brother smash you at all?
no, I never played against his brother. He's a few years older than I am.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Not quite the level of hockey.
yeah, different caliber.
Couple Donnie Brooks. eh?
You know, someone's compared me to Gretzky though.
Couple buddies that call me Gretzky.
Not that I'm soft by no means.
Doesn't read the game as well, but better hands for sure.
So what happens if you play your brother? Does it not go good?
Well, I have in the past, so I feel like we should build context on this. So,
Well,
we've
We have
name
to.
dropped
Hey,
Mike
this
a
is the
little
grill
bit,
in the
but-
room. Is he
Yeah.
gonna crush you? Is this like?
Yeah, so I was a goalie. So I grew up. I was the youngest of 4 kids, 2 older brothers and an older sister. And I have pictures of me in a diaper with a baseball glove and a mini stick playing in net. And so they threw me between the pipes because they needed a tendy, and I ended up being the goalie right from when I was super young. And so if I was to go head to head with Mike, so his name's Mike Fisher. He plays for the Nashville Predators. He weighs in at about 215, and I'm about $175, a lean 170.
Dress.
With my work 175 with my work boots on. And so, he plays a physical game, and I'm a little bit more of a finesse player when I play men's league now. And so, my hips don't have it anymore, and the hips don't lie. So I stacked the pads up on the shelf and decided to grab a twig and be a sniper. And I play with some guys that in Ottawa that play at a very high level, and some of them think it's funny when I got my head down to just lay me out. So Chris Neal, Chris Neal's a legitimate heavyweight fighter in the NHL, and I was playing men's league, with him. And he played with my brother for 11 years in Ottawa or something. I cut through the middle with my head down. I've never played a game of contact hockey in my life as a forward because I was a goalie. Well, I come toe drag right through the middle, and he lays me out yard sale. Like I had to go starfish. I had to go pick up my gloves and my stick and an elbow pad and everything. So I don't do it too much anymore.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy's got 3 kids, and they're all goalies. Like it's ching, ching,
Oh
ching, ching, ching.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a rich man's sport.
Oh,
yeah.
You fancy
It's funny,
yourself
though.
a bit of a Glenn Anderson. Eh? Playmaker.
Bit of a playmaker.
It's funny because, here in Michigan, Hockey Town, they would call
Oh,
Detroit
yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah.
And it was so, when Iserman was
yeah.
here, and it
Yeah.
was, in Fedorov, it was, no joke. Like, if you if you play for the Wings, it was like a big deal. And like when they won the championship, it was big because if you think about it, you're in the Motor City. This isn't like small.
Just lit it up.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In this town, there's like millions of people that are fans and tons of money that was being spent. I mean, it was a great place to be.
Oh yeah.
And I remember when they won. Every like major like road was jammed, like people honking the horns and the flag. It was unreal. Like at that night, I remember that when they won both years, the back-to-back ones, and it was incredible. Now it's not as good, obviously, but
I remember the last one they were partying at some bar, man. Just everybody's drinking out of
it doesn't matter where you were.
It was just
they
were all there on top of the
pandemonium.
bar.
I don't know
pandemonium,
and I don't.
The city shuts down.
The thing of it is hockey. I feel like not really looked at a lot around the country as much, but in Michigan it was always like premier, and then
I played college hockey. In my first ever game, I was 18 years old. It was going to be televised, and I say that only to say I was shaking in my boots because I played in Lindsay, Ontario for the Muskies previous to that. And we pulled up to Yost Arena at Michigan against the Wolverines, and they were the football team was playing that day. And there was, for a mile down the road, there was tailgaters, and I was like, "What did I just get myself into?" And just all that to say, like they're just crazy about their sports here. So it was.
I think
we lost. We lost.
There's so many people working this region. It's like there's millions of people here, millions of hunters too, really, and. That's how they let loose. Is they watch Michigan football, Michigan State football, Michigan basketball, Michigan State. Not as much that I don't know if the Pistons are very.
They're pretty much on Cabela's last night, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a new Cabela's opening up around us, right?
Yeah.
So somebody at work gives me like this ticket. I'm like, this must be exclusive. Nobody's getting these tickets.
Yes.
I see my buddy goes, yeah, they sent me one in the mail. I'm like, where's mine?
Yeah, it's gonna be like you and Eva Shockey just hanging out.
Well, it's funny.
3,000 people in the parking lot.
He's going up there. I go, dude, if you're going up there, I mean, one of our team members is the archery tech there.
Yeah.
I'm like, do a live feed from there. That'd be kind of cool. Interview the owner, not the owner, the manager. Interview, our buddy Chris, and you see the video. He's like this close to everything. There's people all around.
Yeah,
He's going like this. Like I'm here.
I didn't even know if anybody could hear me. I was like,
really,
I'm not
really
walking
crazy.
around. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it's funny because. We were talking before about the history, and I worked with Ryan before. It's hilarious from Excalibur, and I didn't know it was you, obviously. But then now I recognize you, and you said that. I'm like, oh, wait a minute,
right.
Wasn't expecting that. I don't think we've worked together.
No, I don't believe
in person, but probably through some
the
sort
ATA
of
show
or something. Yeah,
Probably see him at AT.
at some point. Yeah, because I remember we talked to AT a couple times.
Yeah.
And how long were you there at Excalibur?
2.5 years.
That's what I thought. Okay, I knew it was a couple.
Yeah.
And then, God, I miss you. Why don't you stay there? You can't hear. But yeah, I mean it's a small world is the point, so that's pretty cool. So what's coming up for you guys? What do you guys got going on? Like what should we look forward to here coming up the next couple months?
Well, I'd mentioned already the apparel, and so we're broadening that out a lot more. Really, the 2016 deer hunt with the foam trucker hat and a couple T-shirts was kind of a tester to us, and we wanted to see if people really embraced what the brand represented and our positioning in the marketplace, which is just kind of a relatable brand that everybody can laugh about and can enjoy, and then so. Where we're going from a product perspective this year is a lot more broad, lifestyle apparel stuff and, some more higher end items as opposed to the T-shirts and the hats. On the brand side of things, we're just going to continue to put out, we've doubled down our commitment on creating content. The feedback from people is, we love the videos. It makes our day when you post a video. It's funny and I get to laugh with my buddies about it. And so we want to do that a lot more. And so we've got a queue now lined up. We did our original video. We did a Christmas, video. We did New York City. We did wild game drive-through. We went around to drive-throughs and ordered wild game. And,
That was pretty funny.
went to Wendy's and ordered, a bacon double Elkinator. Or
Better with a little grouse on it.
Yeah, better with a little grouse on it. Oh yeah, so we went through it. Ordered muskie roast at Starbucks, and like, we don't have a muskie roast. Do you mean a pike roast? I'm like, oh, pike, yeah. You're stocking pike in this pond, are you? Yeah, so stuff like that, and so and then we dropped this most famous hunting story ever told, and we've got 3 or 4 of them that we're excited to launch. But another area that we're excited about is we've got a busy schedule this fall, just filming hunts, and we're doing like digital production of our hunts, so kind of a digital hunting show. And you know, we're going to be hunting Ontario. We're going to be hunting waterfowl, bear, and deer. You know, Ontario, Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, maybe Georgia. And so we're going to be doing a whole lot of hunting, and then just sharing those hunts in our digital format. And so those will be, you know, shorter episodes, but sharing the hunts. And really, you know, our perspective on it is the time with the guys and the hunt camp shenanigans is a whole lot of fun, right? I don't think that Catchin Deers coming out with a serious, like, here's where you need to hunt this week, you know. The weather turned in southwest Kentucky, you know. So we're gonna have a whole lot of fun with it. So that's what we're gonna be in trees and in blinds and, you know, sky blast and geese that, you know, out of range for, you know, the better part of the fall. You know, just letting out the they're turning, boys, they're turning, let them have it. Oh, I missed them. How'd you miss them? I was shooting a 410. What are you shooting 410 of geese for?
I love that. See, I like to me, like, one of the funny stuff is like messing with Sasquatch. Like, to me, those are when they first came out, I was like, this is the best thing.
Oh, it's
ever.
golden. Yeah.
It was so funny, and then eventually got a little bit like you're like, So I think that from the viral video concept, it's really hard. Like the original one you guys did, hands down awesome. You know, I mean, it's it's very smart, very well thought out, really well done. You know, my favorite part personally is just when the guy runs. Is that you in there or no? Who runs and smashes the deer and tackles it?
Okay, so there's two deer tackles. We're like, is the deer tackle getting old? You know, so the first one, apparently not. Yeah. So the first one is I shoot my recurve. I turn around and do a spin shot at a target, but I took the field point out of it, so it would bounce right off the deer.
Oh, got it.
Right, so it bounces off the deer. Then our buddy Adrian comes in and tackles it. Well, he's a big dude. Adrian's a big dude, and he played, and he absolutely committed.
He did. He committed.
Let's take a moment here and appreciate the commitment on Adrian's tackle,
Adrian,
because it could have been
great job, buddy.
It could form tackle. So here's what happened: is we go, all right, get our line back up. We put the target back in place. We put the hat back on.
We mounted this sucker with rebar.
Oh yeah, it was rebar mounted like you would. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
At least
it wasn't a garden nose. Like this thing.
It was no garden nose. No. And he said, like, how hard? As hard as you can.
Yeah, he goes, how hard do you want me to hit it? I said, I want you to lay out horizontal at it.
Three-quarter.
Pretend this is your last.
3/4 to full pin.
Last stand.
Your last snap.
3/4 to full.
This is it.
Uncle Rico on it, huh?
Oh yeah. We said, we want you to commit, and he did. So we lined her up, and we get all ready to go again, and we get everything lined up, and I'm kind of going through my lines in my head. I go, Adrian, you ready? And he looks over, and he's half cross-eyed, and he goes, nope. And we're like, come on, let's go. He goes, guys, I've had 3 or 4 concussions playing rugby, and I've got another one. And he's like, I can't do it again. And I looked at Reed and Ryan, and I said, is our take good enough? And they go, buddy, he's got a concussion. I think it'll work.
No, but we're missing the part where later on, the guy in the deer costume running away from Bud is Adrian. Same day.
Yeah. He said, I can't do it because I got a concussion. And then we put the deer suit on him and said, I'll tackle you, but I'll go high. I'll miss high. I'll miss high. Oh, yeah.
He's in a deer suit again.
Oh, he's in the deer suit again. We filmed
Just
a
the
little
other
bit of
day.
a close. Yeah, we put the deer suit on.
He likes that deer suit.
Well, it was 100 degrees,
hot.
and we did a 10-second little outro.
Where'd you
and
guys
it took
film
us
it?
3 hours.
Where was that?
Back in Peterborough. My brother's got a little farm in Peterborough. My brother Rob, and
We owe him about
what's that?
$30,000 in sod.
Oh yeah. Because what happens? We filmed an outro to this video, and we said we just want to have like a call to action. If you think, if you like hunting, if you take your hunting seriously and you take yourselves lightly, like follow us, you're gonna like our stuff, right? And so what happens is, Rob's chasing Adrian in a deer costume, and catching deers, and then I start walking and talking, and behind the same 2 guys come zipping back, but Adrian's knees to ears on a little mini a four-wheeler, this little 50cc, just ripping. And Rob comes out, and he's got a little field car for his son Mason, and it's like this little.
That's what that was.
It's a Pontiac.
Figure that out.
Wave. It's like
forgot
it's a
about the car.
Pontiac Wave. You couldn't even catch that little four-wheeler if you wanted to. Well, he comes by and does an e-brake and spins right around in it, and we did a whole bunch of takes trying to get it right because we wanted fireworks and explosions in the background as he's turning, and his whole lawn is just done. Like he just ripped the whole thing right up.
How'd you guys do the explosion in the end? Was that like a?
I don't know if it's legal.
Well,
Because I know the one you shoot, right? But I knew it
Adrian's a
wasn't
bit of
that,
a pyro.
Adrian's a
He knows
pyro.
all about
Yeah, he's
So
a
ether and
how
many-
they
Let's skip
deserve
different, different flammable products that ignite.
They did, yeah.
It
They
looked like
deserve
smoke
to
to me,
know.
but-
So what happens is we just light a little bonfire.
yeah.
They did-
You
no,
put it
you-
on a pizza box, preferably.
Yeah,
After
and
you
you
eat the
take
pizza.
yeah,
A day-old newspaper
Oh, yeah.
around it, and then
Yeah.
you string together a bunch of canned goods.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you hairspray.
You get a guy off to the
paint.
side with a 22, and
Yeah.
when the time is right, you let her fly.
You shoot the cans and they
Explode.
explode.
We
Yeah.
pulled it
Is
the
that what
propane the other day. We didn't get that take though.
Yeah, don't do the propane tank.
No.
I saw it on
We did the
Mythbusters.
propane tank.
The full one?
No.
Because I
It was
saw
just
it.
a little
It
camper
was
version.
like-
It was a. It
No,
was
that's
a,
in the next county.
yeah. It was a mostly empty camper version of propane with 2 bottles of hairspray, some brake fluid, and some spray paint, I think, or something like that. And
But we
Boom.
usually have stunt doubles and specialists.
Big bunch of things.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, but we do. Yeah, we do have. What are they called? Fire extinguishers and stuff
Yeah,
ready to
yeah, we're
rock
safe.
and roll.
We're
We
smart.
play it
We're
safe.
smart about it.
We're smart about being dumb, gents. We're smart about being dumb. Oh yeah.
Oh man! So talk about hunting real quick. You said you guys got a lot of hunts coming up.
Hunting.
What kind of actual hunts do you have going?
Yeah, we've got. We start out in Kentucky for the bow opener, which is a lot of fun because it'll open up second or third of September, so it's in a month, and they're full velvet at that point, and it's hot, it's warm. They don't move till the end of the day, so it's a fun experience for us because you're hanging out at the camp. We don't hunt the mornings. Because they're out in the field still, and you're going to get busted, and they're patternable bucks at that point, in the year. So
yeah, good point.
So we don't want to bust them out. We don't want them to feel the pressure. So we shoot the bows in the morning, and we hang out at camp, and in the afternoon we head out to the stands and we hunt them coming out to bean fields and food plots and things like that in Kentucky. And so that's a completely different hunt than I was used to doing growing up in Canada. So we do that, and then we head back. We do bear in Ontario. We'll do Ontario waterfowl. We'll do Ontario deer. We'll do Ontario waterfowl again. We'll switch probably from geese to ducks. Ducks will be better a little bit later.
The deer in Ontario, are they pretty big?
yeah.
I mean, you're going to find
Yeah.
giants or no?
Yeah, so we
There's
have
giants.
some. Yeah, there's giants. There's big deer for sure. But what happens there is the antler and body development are different from deer. Well, it might be similar to here in Michigan, but certainly different from like Tennessee, Kentucky, and Georgia and stuff where we hunt as well. And what happens is they don't grow the antler mass and growth until the bodies are big and strong enough to survive the winter. So the first 4 years of their life, they're putting on body mass, and then the antlers really start to explode, and we get bigger antler deer after 5 years old. Well, Kentucky, we got 3-year-olds that are bigger than some of our 5,
Wow.
right? Because they're getting solid nutrition, and they don't have the winter hardship on their body in the winter, and so their antler development early in the spring is so much better. So all that to say, we've got some big body deer that don't have big antlers. We had one on our farm last year that was probably a 120-inch deer. 100 might have even been 110. Like it was a pretty modest rack on the deer, and it was 3 years old. But it probably would have field dressed like 220, like 210, 220. It would have field dressed. Just huge body on it, not a big rack. And so we see that the development is later. If you get a big buck, biggest one we've got on our farm there is about a 155, and he's like a 5-year-old, right? So that's kind of the Ontario deer thing, and then during the rut, I'm gonna do probably Tennessee, Ohio, and then a late season. I might be able to get a late season in Georgia, and but we're not quite sure about that. But sprinkle in some waterfowl hunts close to home in there, and that's kind of fall. And then we'll get out and we'll do, in the spring we'll do Turkey, Ontario, Kentucky, Tennessee, maybe Georgia as well there. Ohio in the fall for deer as well.
Ohio. I have so many bad memories. I froze my butt off, man, hunting Ohio.
No, we were driving to
frozen.
ATA last year. Remember that deer just laying on the side of the highway?
That was
180.
that was Indiana, though, was it?
It was Ohio.
Oh, it was Ohio.
Yeah.
We saw some deer driving this morning. We left early. We left at 6:00 this morning, and we were coming through Toronto. We were coming through Toronto. And there's in areas that you can't even hunt. There's bean fields and urban deer. And we saw a couple does and a nice. It was hard to tell what it was. He was 200 yards back in the field, and I'm like, I think that was a 3-year-old 8. Looked like he was about 110 inch 3-year-old 8. And you were all like, oh yeah. Meanwhile, they're thinking, we were trying to figure out whether or not that was even a buck. How do you know? That's how we roll. But
there are giant deer in that Mississauga area.
That
you can't otherwise hunt.
Yeah, you see big boys, and you just, you're just drooling, and they're right next to Alcatel building, and like, what do you do?
All right, man. So Catchin Deers, what's the website that people can go to and get in on this?
www. That stands for World Wide Web. You can start it with https://www.catchindeers.com. Or if you type in catchindeers.com, that will work as well. We're on Instagram at Catchin Deers and Facebook, facebook.com/catchindeers. And if you basically just Google Catchin Deers, because nobody else is dumb enough to have the name Catchin Deers, you will find us.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. It's been awesome to have you guys here in person. Much cooler than on the phone, because we've been doing all these on the phone ones. So it's a lot nice to actually have a conversation. So I'll, if you're listening to this podcast, I'll put it in the description, all the links that you guys just mentioned, so it's easier to find it. Thanks for coming in, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Thanks so much for listening to the Bowhunter Planet podcast, online at BowHunterPlanet.com with your host, Team BHP. Check us out on Facebook at BowHunterPlanet. We'll catch you next time.